interpreting right now. And any other questions? So what King had. Mary, Tricia, Dylan, you get Madison. Look at this. This is the first time in history in my class that I believe I have 3 women here. Oh, Ray just popped in. But I had 3 women out of 6 students. That's crazy. It's crazy. Women are taking over the world of programming anyway. All right. So once I get out of my pineapple under the sea, I'm going to start sharing with you guys. Boom, boom, boom. And lesson 5 pops up. Lesson 5 is about, there's some math functions in there. Okay. And then there's dealing with characters and dealing with strings. And they introduced that before we move into repetition, which is the big one coming up in the next, before midterm, which will be coming up pretty quick here for the 16-week classes. You guys, so we'll have a midterm break coming up. And I think that's like the 11th. I don't know if it's the 11th or what, that week. So this might even be due the week of, but it'll be due. If that's the, I don't normally give lessons on assignments during the spring break, which is another blessing or thing for you guys. But we'll see where we're at. I can't promise that, okay? But you can see here, we got one that's called Check SSN, 3-city sort. When I talk to you about that one, once you read, I want to be able to put in uppercase letters or lowercase letters. It shouldn't matter when it sorts. If you don't change them all to upper or all to lower, whatever the user types in, it won't sort them correctly. So this is a big warning here in red. The one I'm going to do today, we're going to go ahead and create a financial application. In other words, I want to create a paycheck stub. Okay. And it's kind of a fun program to do, I think, anyway. Not that everybody here has to agree with that. But it's kind of this chapter is chopped up into like 4 different parts. Like I said, it'll have stuff on math. It'll have stuff on single characters. It'll have stuff on strings. And I forget what the other one is, random or something, but we already know how to do that. Okay. And again, you guys butt in at any time, not butt in, but break in at any time if you have questions about what we're doing today. And okay, so we're going to go ahead and start our NetBeans here. Let's see something here. Yeah. If you can, what I'd like you to do while we're waiting for NetBeans to come up is go ahead and take your mouse and copy this right here. Okay, you highlight it and hit Control-C on your computer. If it isn't a Mac, I don't know how you copy on a Mac, but I want you to put that in your memory or in your, so that you can paste it into your program. Those 4 lines there, okay? And then I'll move back over into our NetBeans here. We'll go ahead and close these couple applications I have open. And we're going to start a new program, a new project per se in Ant. And this will be, let's just call it Pay Stub. That'll be a good one. I haven't used that this week anyway. Okay. So we create something called a program called Pay Stub. Over here again, you see your package with your files in it. And we come in here, get our internal documentation down. So we got a project here. And I'm just going to call it the Acme Pay Stub Program. And this will be the name of the file. And it's just paystub.java. And then it's today is oops, I better put date in there. 2/25/2021. February's almost gone, folks. Not soon enough for Doug. But it is warming up. I'm excited. It's supposed to be in the 50s this weekend. It wouldn't be exciting if we were in Florida, but in Illinois, exciting. People will be out in shorts. Okay. So a program to calculate the net pay of an employee, or whatever we want to put it, based on only two inputs. The two inputs, the rate of pay and hours worked. Okay, again, the key there is net pay, right? And then I'm gonna, okay, Doug. Then I'm gonna take that, what I copied, and I'm gonna Control V to paste it in here. I kind of like where that ended up. Hours over should be paid at 1.5 times time and a half. Uh-oh. What happened there? Oh, there. Geez. Oh, everything disappeared. That gets scary when everything disappears. And okay. And then we'll put display about outputs will be regular hours, OT hours, regular pay, OT pay, gross income or gross pay, FICA, that's your Social Security, tax, state tax, federal tax, total deductions, and net pay. So that's my outputs. And let's clean this up. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Delete that. Move this in a little bit so it's pretty. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, so that's what you should have so far. I'm going to go ahead and save so I don't lose this thing. I'm going to drink some coffee, let you catch up if you're. This should probably be indented a little bit because it's kind of out with the purpose. That's beautiful. Just but that pretty much describes our program, right? That's what we want. Some other programmer comes in and says, "What's this?" Well, it's a program to calculate blah 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 based on 2 inputs. So right away, I know that if I'm going to get input, I have to have a scanner, right? So we'll do input java.utilities. And then we'll sit here and wait a second to see if it can catch up with me. Scanner. No. And then we have to sit and wait while Doug's computer puts in abstract collection for some reason. I just don't understand why NetBeans does that all the time. And then it sits and spins, and then it puts the wrong thing in. See, just like you guys, mine doesn't always do what I want it to do. So that looks good. I'm going to come in here and instantiate a scanner. How about user con today? New user or new scanner of the type system in. And we got that. All right, so first thing I am going to do is put in a nice little banner. Oops, system out this time. Line. Something like that. And then I'm going to guess that this. And we'll say or pay stub program. And I can tell already that I need to move it over a little bit. Maybe like that. 1, 2, 3 there. This is not what you see is what you get. So I'm going to then I'll copy this. And you say, Doug, why do you take your because I want it to look like a professional did it. And then I'm going to run it to see how it lines up, and then I'll correct it accordingly. Oh my gosh, that's the first time that's happened. These all line up. These all line up. It's centered, sort of. So you might have to run yours a couple times if you have more spaces and just adjust it so it looks cool, right? All right. So there I got that. So I like that. Now I'm going to need some constants. Okay. I'm going to need quite a few constants. And looking at my list up here, what do I need constants for? Can anybody think of any constants I need? Something that is
it would
not going to
be
change.
like the FICA score deduction, which is like 7.65, like that. So, state income tax, federal income tax.
Yep. And even more than that, I'm going to put this in. I'm going to say final double standard hours. And standard hours is going to be equal to 40.
Why is
And
it final double instead of double?
because final makes it a constant versus a variable.
Oh, okay.
So it cannot be changed now. Not like if I just make it double, they could change the standard hours. And I don't want that. I want it to be locked on 40. You understand?
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't.
All
I
right.
always wondered why it was final double on that.
Yeah, the capitalization is just for other programmers by convention that'll look at your program, and they'll, if it's uppercase like that, they'll know, oh, that's a constant. It's declared up above somewhere. Okay, that's the only reason we do that. So double. Oh, you know what? That's wrong. That should be an int because it is just 40. And then we got a final double here though, and it's going to be called OT factor. And it's going to be worth 1.5, 1.5 times. And then you're right on your other stuff. So I need final. Again, this is money. You know, all those percents up there are actually money. That's how many pennies out of every dollar, okay, you're paying in taxes. So this is just going to be FICA. And it'll be, FICA is at 0.0765. In other words, that's 1/100th of a penny, that 5 there, that the government is collecting from you, believe it or not. So later in our program, we're going to round, because if we're multiplying 1/100th of a penny times money, we need to get it to 2 decimal places, because we don't have like tenths of a penny or that. The United States used to, back in the Revolutionary War days, we had coins that were like 1/10 of a penny. 1/10 of a penny just doesn't buy you what it used to. Oh, gosh. And then final double will equal Fed tax. Or we'll just make it federal. So, and it's at 0.18. 18, they get you at every dollar. And I think that's good. So there's my constants. Okay. All right. So now, what are my variables going to be? Well, what do you think? Who else is here? Let me pick up. Ray, what kind of constants are we looking at here?
We're rate of pay, and then we have standard hours, but I would say your hours worked could definitely be a
Yeah,
variable,
yeah.
especially since we're calculating overtime.
Mm-hmm. So those are the first two we need. So, and they're going to be what? Hours worked? What do you think?
It's just going to be double since it's a
Yep.
variable.
Because I don't want to get gypped out. If I work 40.5 hours, I'm not giving that half hour to them, right? So
Yeah.
it's going to make it hours worked like that. I think works fine. And then double rate of pay, maybe. And then how about other stuff? There's a big list, right? Right there. I need variables for every one of those. So you can just start. So then I'll have double regular pay. I'll have double OT pay. Oh, I should make that OT pay, something like that, maybe. And then double gross pay. And then, so I got my gross. So then I'll have my double FICA tax, double state tax, double Fed tax, double Total deductions. And then double net pay. Yikes, right? That. Again, you know, I've done this program, I don't know how many times. So I know what I need. But this is things that you should think about. If you were writing this and I wasn't here with you today, these are all things that you would have thought of. Which ones aren't going to change? Okay, well, the tax rates for the most part aren't going to change. The standard hours in a week in your business probably aren't going to change. They might be 35, then you'd send it to 35 if you're giving them, paying them for lunch or something like that. I don't know. And then overtime factor by law, you need to be paying somebody 1.5 times anything over 40 hours. Okay, and then the rates of pay don't change that often, hopefully. Geez. I mean, the tax rates. All right. So now we have inputs that we need, right? There's 2 of them, 2 only. That's the only 2 things you're allowed to get. You cannot ask them how many hours of regular they did and how many overtime they did. Okay. So we need a system.out.print like that. And then enter employees hours, weekly hours worked. Something to that effect. Nice clean prompt. And then I did create a scanner and I instantiated it. So it's user con. So we're going to say hours worked is equal to user con dot next double. And again, I could have declared this hours worked up here. I could have put right here, I could have put double. I just like, if I know what they're going to be right off the bat, if I put them up here at the top, it just makes it the reading easier for somebody looking at my program. So then I got my out here, print again. Again, I put print because I like my input from my user to the right hand of my prompt. If you like your input from your user below you, you could use a print line. So this is enter. I hate that prompt thing there. Employees rate of pay. Something to that effect. Come down here, and then it'll be rate of pay. It's equal to user con again. And it's another double, next double. Okay, so there's my inputs. Okay, so these right here are in fact my inputs. Only 2 of them. Okay, and now the next step is to process this, right? I got to process, I'm taking data and I'm processing it into information that users can use. So the first thing I have to do is this: if hours worked are less than standard hours, less than or equal to, right? Less than or equal to that, then notice I didn't type 40 in here. Okay, it's not good programming. If you're going to use, instead of literals, we replace them in most instances. I mean, if sometimes you'll see somebody multiply something by 2 or something, but for the most part, if it's a number that could change in the future or whatever, in other words, if I had 100,000 lines of code here, and let's just say you're writing a game, and for pi, we for every circle we drew in the game or arc or whatever, we use 3.14159 for pi. Okay. And so throughout our program, we're typing in 3.14159. Maybe if we remember that, or if there's a couple people working on it, hopefully somebody else isn't using 3.14. All right. However, if I use a constant, everybody can just type in the word pi in the 100,000 lines of code. If your boss comes along one day and says, okay, Doug, we're going to change that value of pi to 3.1, okay, and I want you to go through those 100,000 lines of code and replace it. And Doug, you know what? This is so important to us that if you miss one of them, you're going to lose your job. And even if I search for them, what if somebody had 3.14? What if somebody else had 3.1459? Blah, 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 and ongoing. I'd have to search through all those 100,000 lines of code. If I had a constant that we use throughout, I could go to one line, type in 3.1, and I could guarantee that everything in that program would change to 3.1 from 3.14159. So just something to think about, okay? And yeah, that's the way it works. All right, so if that's true, then my what did I do here? Rate of pay. Well, regular pay. Oh my gosh, we're missing 2 variables already. So down here we need a double that's regular hours. Oops. Regular hours. And then we need one for double OT hours. So there's 2 more you need up there. Okay. Did I have them listed up here? Yeah, I sure did. I just skipped right over them. All right. So if it's under or equal to, then my regular hours is just assign the value of hours worked. And then my OT hours will be nothing more than what? 0. And I really don't have to do that because when I initialized it up here, or when I didn't initialize it, but when I declared it, it became 0 anyway. But just to make sure, we'll put that there, and then we'll put our else in. Then we do this. And then regular hours is going to become standard hours, because that means they had at least 40, right? My OT hours will be nothing more than the hours worked minus standard hours or regular hours. I could make it regular hours. And then I have those. Okay. So I'm going to test it at this point. So I'm going to say system.out.print. Oops. Print line. And we'll just say, let's print out our regular hours plus space. plus our OT hours and make sure our program is running up to this point and giving us the right numbers. All right, so if I put in 50, I should get, and oh, it's going to ask me for the rate of pay. We'll just put that in. And you can see down here, I get 40 regular hours and 10 overtime hours. Okay, so that's one check. Next time I run it, I'm going to type in 23 and 10 again because it doesn't matter. And I should have 23 regular hours and no overtime hours. So it looks like my program is doing what I want it to do. Okay, up to this point. So I can remove this now. If you want to keep it for checking, you can leave it there and just put 2 slashes in front of it. Okay. Okay, so then I got regular hours. So my next step is going to be regular pay will be equal to regular hours times the rate of pay, right? Okay, but here's where we can run into some problems, because if I work, I don't know, let's say in a day I work 8.125 hours. Let's say it's that close. And then my rate of pay could be $10.17. Chances are I'm going to get at least 2 decimal places, probably 3. So at this point, I am going to round it. And I'm going to try to get an algorithm right off the bat that'll do that. So let's try. If I take, first of all, regular pay, and I add 0.005 to it. Why am I doing that? Because I want it to have a number higher than, that'll kick it, the number up. I'll explain this more in a second. And then I want to multiply it by 100. And I'm going to put 100.0 so it knows that's a double. Okay. So now, so I'll explain this down below here. So let's say regular pay time is, my regular pay is 100.246 dollars. If I add 0.005 to that, then I get what it would be 100.251, right? Then if I multiply that by 100, I get 125.1, right? Then the next thing I want to do is I want to make that an integer. And it'll be that. And then if I do this, if I divide by, so this is the answer after I multiply 100.251 and then times 100 will equal 1,025.1. And then I'm just going to pull off the integer part of that. So then I'm going to just want the integer of that, of 10025.1, which will mean it'll be 1,000, whatever, 25. And then I'm going to divide it by 100. And my answer will be, I'll have it rounded to 100.25. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Okay. So then if I put int in front of that, okay, and then I have to divide by 100.0. And where's my other 1, 2? Oh, it's 3. Okay, let's try that. And then divide by 100. Oh, come on, Doug. All right, and then let's go ahead and we want to make sure we try this. Okay, whoops, what's going on here? Class expected reg times int 1, 2 times that. So I got 1, 2, 3 this side, 1, 2, 3, 4 this side. What? No, I still got it. Why is that? Not a statement expected. Let's try this. What if I put that there and get rid of 1 off of here? It seems to like that. Okay, so if I do that. So let's see if it prints out a number, a 2-digit number here. And again, I could format it like that in a print statement, but that would not remove that 3rd digit. So if I went back and did something else with that number, it would still have that hanging digit off the end. Okay. So I want to actually change the number. Okay. Instead of just formatting it so it doesn't show that number. And then let's go here, reg pay. You know what? I'm going to print it twice. See if I can blow it up here. See if there's one I can do that'll show you that it'll have hanging decimals out there. Let's see if there's a difference. Okay, so I'm going to say I worked 40.125 hours. And my rate of pay is $20.17. See the difference? So we're getting, this is what we want down here. Believe it or not, that should be, I don't know, why am I getting, I think if I print it out, it'll actually, is it taking it to 0 there? Why is that? Reg pay point, do. There's a reason, times 100. I do that, then I do that. Try another one here. I'm just seeing. And then there you go. So it is showing 2 decimal places. All right. So it looks like it's working. So this is my algorithm here that I'm going to use to round. Now, could I use math round? Yes, I could. But here I wrote my own algorithm and I know it works. And I could take the same algorithm and round to 1 decimal place. Just move my 5 over 1. These would become, each would become 10. And then it would round to 1 decimal place. I could round it to no decimal place. Well, that I just use an integer then. Okay. Or I could do thousands. I could increase this with another 0, 1,000, 1,000. Then I'm rounding to thousands. All right. So I got that. I no longer need to print these out. So I can get that. Get rid of this. I'll leave my explanation of what I'm doing there just for, so you guys can kind of look at that. So if that's what I get for regular pay, then my OT pay is very similar. So OT pay is nothing more than OT hours times the rate of pay times the OT factor. And next I'm going to say my OT pay is equal to, and I'm going to go up here, copy this, paste it down here, change this reg pay to OT pay. And I'm done with that one. Okay. Since I already rounded my gross pay, I don't need to round anything. It'll just be reg pay plus my OT pay. And that's all my pay is calculated now. So now I need to do my deductions, okay? So my first deduction is my FICA. So it was FICA tax will be equal to my gross, it's always on your gross pay, times FICA. And then again, my FICA tax here will be the same as this. And then we'll type in FICA tax. Okay. Then we'll do our state tax the same way. And then state tax will be equal to Control V again. And then state tax. And then our Fed tax will be equal to our gross pay times federal. And then Fed tax is equal to Control V. Replace that. Oops. Okay, so there's all my taxes calculated to 2 decimal places. So then I have total deduct will be equal to my FICA tax plus my state tax plus my federal tax. How we doing? Mary, are you
catching
with
up,
us?
but I'm doing all right.
Mary. Yo, Mary. Okay. Anybody with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello? Not
Here.
hearing. I'm hearing.
I'm still here.
How come I can't hear
Can-
you
oh,
guys?
okay.
Oh, hang on a second. Why is my... Hello?
Hello.
Oh my gosh. Did Mary answer before? Somehow my hearing got muted here. I thought I was going deaf. Anybody else listening?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So are we good up to this point?
I'm still catching up.
Yeah, I'm catching up, but I understand it.
Okay. I'll give you a couple seconds here. Just I'll tell you what, even give me a minute here. I'll be back. All right. How are we doing now? Caught up?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
I'm doing good.
Okay, cool. We're cool now. So we got our total, we got our regular, I'm sorry, our gross pay. We got our total deductions. Okay. So let's test them. So system dot out dot print line total, oops, total deduct. And we'll make it 40 just, and 10. And we had $110.60 we're taking out in total deductions. And we'll check that more to make sure we're getting them all. I probably should have checked them as I was going down.
I got 72.
Okay. La 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 la. Check you got 70. Anybody get, let's run it one more time so we can all get the same number. I got 40 and 10, and I get 110.6. Okay. Anybody else get that?
But I got.
Okay. So at least I got one confirmation.
Yeah, I mean, I can go back
it.
and just check later, but it's weird.
You might have, let's go up here. You sure you got these in the, because it would be probably one of the.
Wait, can you go down to your total deduct thing? I might mess that up actually.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, there we go. I was typing so fast that my plus
I
signs were
know,
equal
I-
signs.
It was like smoke coming off your fingers.
Yes, sir.
All right. So there we got that. So we only have one line left here in our processing, and that'll be net pay. And net pay is assigned a value of our gross pay minus our total deductions. Okay. And so we're done with that. So now all we need to do is our output. So we've got our inputs, we have our process, and we're just sitting here waiting for our output. Okay. System. Print line. I'm going to put a divider in here. Just kind of that. Okay. And then we'll start. So I'm going to have system.out.print, and I'm going to use a print F. So that's an F there. And I'm going to start by saying hours worked, something like that. And then it'll be a $sign, a %sign, 0.2F, and then /n. And all that means is I want to put a $sign next to the money. Then I'm going to substitute this %.2F for a 2-digit floating point number. Okay, in other words, whatever my hours worked is. Oh, I don't put a $sign in front of the hours worked. What's wrong with you? So that goes away. All right. And then we're going to go down to the next line. So right after the N, I hit enter, and it puts a plus down below. And then I'm going to put in rate of pay like that. And then this one will have a $sign. And then %sign, 0.2F. Again, the 2 is how many decimal places I want. And then an N there. And once again, I hit enter. And then rate of pay. And then I'll have regular hours. And it'll just be a %sign, 0.2. Okay, 0.2F /n. And then I'll have OT hours. And that'll be a %sign, 0.2F /n. And then I'll have regular pay. And that'll be a $sign, %sign, oops, %sign, 0.2F /n, enter. And then regular pay, overtime pay, regular pay, and then OT pay will be $sign. Now these could be, you could do system out, print, these could all be separate system out things. I'm just making them one big one. Okay. I'm just doing it as one big one, but it could be definitely, you could do them line by line if you don't totally understand what I'm doing here. That /n is putting each one of these on a separate line. And then at the end, I'm going to have to fill all those %.2s with whatever variable will fill them in correctly. So then this will be gross pay. and it'll be a $sign, %sign, 0.2F/N, and enter there. And I think I'll put in a little divider here. Okay, so because I got my gross done there. And then I'll come back here, /N on the end, enter. And then it'll be FICA tax, be a $sign, and then a %sign, then 0.2F/N. And then our state tax, $sign, oops, $sign, %sign, 0.2F/N. And then our federal tax. Try and make sure that you got a space after the colon, because you don't want that $sign jammed up. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's something silly, but it just makes it look 100% better. Little things like that, you can tell the difference between somebody that took their, that has pride in what they're doing versus somebody that's just throwing it together, right? So we're trying to make this as user-friendly as we can. And of course, same thing as spelling or with spelling and something like that. Oops. Does that look right? I don't know if those are the same length or not. Kind of looks like it. Okay, and then, so we got that. And then enter there. And then it should just be, we got our deductions. So then we have our net pay here. It'll just be $sign, %sign, 0.2F/N. And I'm going to put 2 /N's there. Okay. And then we're going to actually close that out and run it. And let's see what we get. And I'll come back to it. Okay, so if I work 50 hours a week at $10 an hour, that would mean I'd get 40 hours a week at $10 an hour. So that's $400. And then 10 of my hours would be at time and a half. So that would be another $150. So my gross pay should be $550. So that's one thing I can, ooh, okay. If you get something like this, that means that I've got an error in how I did my printout. See, it says missing format exception. Oh, because I never put in, how silly of me. We didn't put the variables in. So we need hours worked, comma. The next one is rate of pay. Next one is regular hours, OT hours. Regular pay, OT pay, gross pay, FICA tax, state tax, federal tax, total deduct, and gross pay. Okay, so now why is this not? Pay, and then this. Why is that? What am I missing? Got a comma here, comma here, comma. It starts here. I only got one there. Very interesting. Well, one thing I can do is this. Oops, there's a comma missing right there. There we go. There we go. So now I've got all these to fill in all these placeholders. I have all my variables listed. And there we go. Okay, so 50 and 10 we said. Okay. So you can see here, here's my hours worked, rate of pay. Regular hours is 40, overtime is 10. So I got $400 in regular pay, 150 in overtime for a total of 550. FICA tax, state tax, federal tax, total deduction. Oop, net pay is wrong. What's going on there? Oh, I put gross pay down here. And I just keep working on it until it comes out. I can tell, I could tell, right? Don't turn it in like that yet. Sometimes I don't know if you guys check your programs or not before you turn them in to make sure it's logical what the answers are. And here you can see now I got the right net pay. And then if I have, you can see here, 152.08. If I add that to 397.92, I get 550 on the penny. There's no leftover pennies anywhere. I got these nice dividers in here. Program looks pretty good. So now I'm going to check it again for something under 40 hours. So I'll just put in 20 at $10.50 an hour. And you can see here, you got your OT hours at 0, your OT pay at 0, gives me the total of $210. Okay. My taxes are taken out. And if I add these two together, they come out to 210. So it's looking pretty good that our program is running really well. So I'll give you a second here to catch up on your output.
Every time I'm like returning to the bottom line, it's not adding the like it's not doing what yours is doing. It's being kind of weird.
Okay. Where is it being weird?
So hours worked, it was being weird when I put it in. It gave me two options for printf. I didn't know which one to use. I assumed it was the string, right? So
A string. Why
yeah, that's what it said. That's what, like, you know how it gives you suggestions when you like are typing it?
Yeah.
But I didn't know which one.
Yours has to be just like mine.
It says printf.
Okay.
And then when I go to like return to the bottom line, you know how yours already added the plus for you, like automatically? It's not doing that for me. And the first thing in the list
Okay,
says,
hang on a second. I'm going to stop. I'm going to save mine. Oh, it's already saved. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing and you're going to bring it up for the class and we'll take a look at it.
all
And
right, sweet.
they can point out what they think is wrong.
Host disabled participation.
Oh, I'm
or
sorry.
participant.
Hang on. I got to turn you on here. Okay. You should be good now. I live in a pineapple under the sea. Okay, so you got blah, blah, blah. And so hours work, and then rate of pay. Okay, so you got an error here, right? What does it say? Not bad operand type string for unary operator. Huh, that's weird.
It's because you closed out hours.
Oh yeah,
hours
you got a
worked.
semicolon on the end. Get rid of that common or the that, yeah, both of those. Get rid of that too. The parent. There you go, all fixed. Then you got to go down to the bottom there and then get rid of that. Go inside in between the N and the, in between the N and the, there you go. Now hit enter. Hit enter. Okay, now you're on the next line and I'll go back to my code so you can finish it out. Stop sharing. All right, and then I'll share again. Isn't this fun? You guys sound like you're having a good time. Okay, somebody has to be having a good
No, it's just a lot, like,
time.
honestly, but it's cool.
Anybody else having problems with theirs? Everybody's good. That's cool. I don't know that I believe it, but that's cool. I think it's a pretty cool looking output. And again, I'm a little biased since I helped you write it. All right, so we got about 5 minutes, so I'm gonna scroll up a little bit. And then notice I put in here, I put 2. So that puts an extra line feed in between what I'm gonna type now. And I'm just gonna put my little signature on it. You know what it's gonna say. And that. And then something for our friend, the programmer that might be looking at it. Go down here and save them the trouble of going down any farther. I'll get off my screen there. Thank you. La dee 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 dee. Space there. So I think that's a pretty nice looking program. Again, if I was you, I'd run it a couple more times. Make sure that in fact it's working the way you want it to. Check for any little missing spaces, that your prompts are nice looking. Okay. Nothing's misspelled. I don't know if I got an extra space in there. I do. See that? Had an extra space. Don't like extra spaces. My code looks clean. I don't jam stuff together. Notice I have spaces on either side of any operation. Whoops, see, there's one missing there. And there's one missing there because I pasted all these in. That's why. One there and one up here. Much better. Okay. Okay, any questions before I stop sharing? Or who, does everybody done typing? I guess that's a better question too. Nobody's done typing?
I'm done typing and
Uh-huh.
I but when I run it, it's not giving me the correct stuff. So I'm trying to
Oh,
figure out.
right. Can we look at yours again?
Yeah, please.
All right. You should be good to go.
All right, sweet. All right, here's what I'm getting.
Okay, let me look. You're missing a percent sign in front of those down under state, federal. You got the dollar sign. After every one of those dollar signs, you need a percent sign.
Oh, you need both. All right, cool. Throw them in real quick.
Now run it. Oh, there you had another one. Yeah. Okay, now run it. So then keep going. Oops, look at your gross pay. And then you're missing another percent sign under regular pay.
Yeah.
And
Gross pay.
yeah, let's go down here. Hours worked, rate of pay, regular pay, overtime pay. Then you got regular pay again. Let's see, right? Rate of pay, regular pay, gross pay is there. Why are you not getting anything? Gross pay.
Got it last time. That's weird.
Scroll up a little bit. Keep going. Stop. Gross pay is regular pay plus overtime pay. Okay. See how you have your code all jammed together? No
Yeah.
spaces. That's, anyway. Why are you not getting any gross pay? 4010 is 40 0. Because you have no regular pay for one.
Oh, wait.
I don't know.
Dude.
That's just the printout. Wait, so that shouldn't matter. Regular pay. That. This is why you need to check. Try this. Go to run it again and put in 50 and 10 instead of 40 and 10, and then we can look at something. See, you don't have a space after your colon either there. 50 and 10, hit enter. All right, so now you get gross. So you know what that's telling me, right? That your if statement is tweaked. Okay, so if it's under or equal to that, you got regular hours is equal to that is 0 there. So then, hours worked, regular hours is that, overtime 0. Regular standard hours, that's right. And then that works. Okay, so scroll down a little more. That's bizarre. Why would the gross pay work when you'd have more than, I'll bet you I know. Let's see here. Gross pay would be overtime. Go to OT pay and look at it. Go up to where you calculate it. You see anything wrong with that line? Because I do.
Pay times OT factor.
Read it again. No, read it to me again.
OT pay equals OT hours times rate of pay.
Nope, you didn't read it, what it says.
Oh, equal. Ooh.
Now run it. There you go.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right.
Yeah. Sweet.
All right.
Thank you.
Stop sharing. Anybody else want to jump in? Cool, because we're over our time. I'm getting overtime. I got 2 minutes of overtime for Doug. Not really. I get a salary. I'm going to stop